On in. So good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us this evening. I don't know of a better way to kick off American Education Week than by coming together with our district community and planning for our future. I personally appreciate all that each and every one of you do on a daily basis for the sakes of our students. I know your schedules have been busy, and many of you are tired of Zooming all day. But I appreciate you taking time to participate as we kick off this very important process that will set the course of the future of our district, the Ferguson-Florissant School District. At this time, I'd like to take a moment to recognize the members of the Board of Education who are super passionate about education and making it the #1 agenda in our community. First, I want to introduce Dr. Donna Paulette Thurman. She is the president of the Board of Education. Then we have Dr. Sheila Powell Walker. She is our vice president. We have Dr. Courtney Graves. She is our secretary. Ms. Tiffany Bush, one of our new board members, is assistant secretary. Mr. Scott Ebert, director. Ms. Leslie Hogshead, also a director. And another one of our new board members, Dr. Kevin M. Martin, he as well is a director. So I want to recognize all of our school board members who are really leading this work and have tasked me and the district to move in this direction. As we work through this strategic planning process, we will be engaging our students, our families, staff, and the community members so that this plan reflects the mission, the vision, the values, and the goals of the Ferguson-Florissant School District. If you are a student who is with us tonight, thank you so much for joining us. All of the work that we do is for you. We work tirelessly to ensure that you have access to a high quality education. And I say that with passion because I'm a daddy. I realize that our current setting is not what many of you would prefer, although some have shared that they find fewer distractions in this setting. However, tonight is about you. Tonight is an opportunity to dream big, to share your hopes and your dreams for the future, and to set those dreams in motion. Parents and family members, I know you, like me, want the best for our children. You want your child learning at the highest level and preparing for college or a career that will provide for their future and to fulfill their dreams. District staff, you chose this occupation because you wanted to make a difference in the lives of so many. You wanted to see lives changed for the better, and you wanted to be a part of that change. I know it's been a long several months, and you've been on Zoom all day, but for a moment, recall the passion, your why, and spend the next several minutes focusing on your hopes and dreams for the future of the Ferguson-Florissant School District. If you're a community member who has joined us this evening, thank you. Regardless of your role, you are valuable and have valuable insights that you can share with us as we planned for the future, not only for Ferg Floor, but the future of this community and this region. We've been through a lot over the last several years, and we're going through a lot right now. The twin pandemics of racism and COVID are especially hard in our community. Sometimes the weight is so heavy that it's hard to see the past with the present pains that we have. Will you join me in looking to the future this evening? Will you take a few moments to contemplate and share your hopes and your dreams for our shared futures? I share consistently as we've addressed COVID and virtual learning that we must focus on the needs of our most vulnerable students. We must take that same approach as we develop our strategic plan. This evening, I'll share an overview of the district's strategic plan process up to this point. You'll hear from our goal area leaders. You will have an opportunity to share your hopes and dreams through a Padlet. Don't worry if you've never heard of a Padlet. We'll explain exactly what that is. Then we'll move into breakout sessions, breakout rooms, where you'll get an opportunity to speak and share your voice, and we'll listen. So just a brief overview here. The Ferguson-Florissant School District went through a strategic planning process back in 2013-14. And we have used those same plans to guide our work since that time. If you were here and a part of that process, take a moment and raise your hand. Over the course of the school year, our stakeholders were engaged in a variety of ways, including large groups like this and smaller groups that focused on specific goal areas. Through that process, 6 goals areas were identified. We quickly learned that while the goals were good goals, few people could remember what they were. So what we did was develop an acronym. That acronym was UNITED, UNITED, for several years as a way to remember those 6 goal areas. That was Strategic Plan 2.0, as you see on the screen. And in Strategic Plan 2.0, we revised our objectives for the goals and worked towards meeting those goals. Last year, the Board of Education approved a new acronym, EQUITY, EQUITY. And here are those goal areas as you see on the screen. E is for economics, Q is quality schools, U is understanding, I, infrastructure, T is talent, and Y is your community. All of the work we have done over the last 7 years falls under at least one of these goals. In a few moments, our goal area leaders will introduce themselves and share briefly their goal area and how their role supports that goal. Strategic Plan 3.0 will retain those same 6 goal areas. However, we need your input as we revise the plan and determine what will indicate we've reached our goals and how we will measure that success. How will we use finances, for example? How will we create a culture where all students feel welcomed and supported? What will our students learn and master to be successful? What do we need to provide in our facilities and technology so our students get a first-class experience? How can we recruit, develop, and retain even greater teachers? And how can we strengthen our community and support our families? What do you want to see for the future of the Ferguson-Florissant School District? In fact, what are your hopes and your dreams? So a brief timeline, we have a lot of work to do between now and the June 2021 board meeting when we plan to present our strategic plan 3.0 to the board for approval with implementation into the coming school year on July 1. From now through February, we will be meeting with stakeholder groups to dig deeper into each of these goals that I've mentioned. We'll share that data with the Board of Education at our February meeting. During this year, we will be revising also our Comprehensive School Improvement Plan, or our CSIP, and aligning the two plans so they are complementary and share the same focus. We'll also be fleshing out the graduate profile and aligning it to the strategic plan and the CSIP so that our students' learning is aligned vertically from pre-K all the way through graduation. I just want to say that, over the last 4 or 5 years, our graduation rate has gone north of 90. We're around 91.5% at this time. But 91 won't do, 99 won't do. We've got to have 100. Through the spring, we will continue to develop and revise Strategic Plan 3.0 and present it to the board for approval at the June meeting and begin the implementation process July 1 as we start the 2020-2022 school year. This strategic planning work will look and feel different from the work back in 2013-14 because of our current situation. I'm hopeful that the infection rates will decline and a vaccine will be available soon. We've learned today of another one that is 94% effective, that the vaccines will be available and we'll be able to begin meeting face-to-face once again. Until that time, we'll continue to meet and plan virtually as we work to fulfill our collective hopes and dreams for the future. At this time, I want to introduce our goal area leaders. I'd like our goal area leaders to, in fact, introduce themselves and share about their role and how it's tied to the strategic plan. First, I want to hand it off to Ms. Laura Madrusik, our Assistant Superintendent for Business Services. Ms. Madrusik? You're muted.
You're muted still.
Thank you. Sorry, I didn't realize I was muted. All right, let's start that again. Good evening, everyone. My name is Laura Madrusik, and I'm the Assistant Superintendent for Business Services, or I'm otherwise known as the Chief Financial Officer for the district. Our current Ferguson-Florissant School District economics goal is to demonstrate fiscal responsibility by achieving a balanced budget, increasing reserves, and implementing expenditure controls. I support the economics goals through ensuring that the budget process is strategically aligned to the resources that are needed for student achievement, as well as ensuring that controls are in place to safeguard our resources. As we move through the strategic planning process, the economics group will use budgetary guiding principles to ensure instructional priorities are identified and financially supported through short and long-term goals that produce equitable outcomes for all of our students. I would like to now introduce Dr. Joycelyn Pugh Walker, who plays an important role in our economics goal.
Good evening, I'm Dr. Joyce Pugh Walker, and I'm the Executive Director of Federal Programs. I support the economics goal by ensuring the financial management of public and non-public school federal grant funds.
And I would also like to acknowledge our board member who supports us in the strategic goal area of economics, and that our board member is Dr. Kevin M. Martin. Next, we will turn the discussion over to Mr. Gary Beals, who is our Assistant Superintendent for Auxiliary Instruction, and he will discuss the Q in our equity goals, which stands for Quality Schools.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Gary Beals, and I'm the Assistant Superintendent of Auxiliary Instruction. The Quality School goal is to promote a school climate conducive to learning through district-wide implementation of positive behavioral intervention, in other words, PBIS, reduction of classroom disruption and discipline incidents, and parents and teachers surveys to monitor progress and gain feedback. I support the Quality School goals through seeking to reduce all class and school disruptions through positive reinforcement policies and behavior intervention strategies. This can be seen in the work that involves the SEC. the Students' Expectation Code, annually. Also, leading this goal is the area of the Executive Director of Student Services. Unfortunately, Mrs. Cacciatore, Amy Cacciatore, will be unable to be with us this evening. At this particular time, I would also like to introduce a partner, Dr. Benita Jameson.
I'm Dr. Benita Jameson. I'm the Executive Director of Integrated Supports and Accelerated Learning. I support the Quality Schools goal by ensuring that students district-wide are supported with resources in the areas of academics, behavior, and social-emotional learning. This includes providing professional development to staff.
At this particular time, the board member who works with us on this goal area is Dr. Sheila Powell Walker.
Hello.
Next,
Go ahead.
next would be Dr. Parker.
Hello, I'm Dr. Jana Parker, and I'm the Deputy Superintendent for Instructional Services. The understanding goal is maintain accreditation, 70% or higher, and support student achievement by focusing on MSIP 5 and MAP scores, subgroup achievement, attendance, graduation rates, and college and career readiness. I support the understanding goal through overseeing, coordinating, and supervising assessment, curriculum planning, implementation and evaluation, program development and evaluation, career and vocational education, and continued professional development.
Hello, and I am Adrienne Bland, and I am the Assistant Superintendent of Leadership for Secondary Schools. I support the understanding goal through the supervision and support of teaching, learning, and leadership in the middle schools and high schools. Thank you.
Good evening. I'm Lisa Hazel. I am the Area Assistant Superintendent of Leadership for Area 2 Elementary Schools in Wedgwood 6th Grade Center. I support the understanding goal through supporting the supervision of teaching and learning and the development of leaders who ensure students are provided an environment that ensures the academic, behavioral, and social emotional achievement of our students in Area 2. Next is Dr. Kitson.
Good evening. My name is Dr. Deanna Kitson, and I'm the Assistant Superintendent of School Leadership for Area 1, K through 5 schools and the 6th Grade Center. And I support the understanding goal by supporting the growth and development of school leadership, really ensuring that standards are the pivotal focus of instruction and that all students get access to high quality grade level standards in teaching and learning practices.
Good evening again. I'm Dr. Benita Jameson. I'm the Executive Director of Integrated Supports and Accelerated Learning. I support the understanding goal by supervising and providing support to the Innovation School at Coo Valley to ensure a vision is centered on meeting students' learning needs and by ensuring accountability for generating measurable improvement in student learning.
The board member who works with us is on this goal is Dr. Courtney Graves. Next, we have infrastructure with Larry LaRue, Terry O'Neill, and Dr. Farhad Jadali.
Good evening. I'm Larry LaRue, and I'm the Deputy Superintendent for Operational Services. The infrastructure goal is enhance the district's infrastructure through ongoing maintenance, energy efficiency, process improvement savings, and technology. I work closely with policies and procedures for the district. I work closely with Laura Madruzik, our CFO, Philip Boyd, our Assistant Superintendent for Human Resource Services, Dr. Farhad Jadali, the Assistant Superintendent of Research, Accountability, and Technology Services, and Terry O'Neill, the Executive Director of Operations, Maintenance, and Security. Terry O'Neill.
I'm Terry O'Neill. As Mr. LaRue just said, I'm the Executive Director of Operations, Maintenance, and Security. I support the infrastructure goal through caring for all of our buildings and properties district-wide. Our team works to assure a safe and healthy learning environment in our schools through maintenance, custodial services, safety and security, energy efficiency, and the planning and budgeting of projects to improve all of our structures and properties while being physically responsible.
I am Dr. Farhad Jadali. I am the Assistant Superintendent of Research, Accountability, and Technology Services. I support the infrastructure goal through ensuring that technology resources are distributed adequately and aligned with the needs of instructional team, focused toward student achievement. As we moved through strategic planning process, the infrastructure group will use guiding principles, including fiscal considerations, to ensure instructional priorities are identified and supported through short and long-term goals that produce equitable outcomes for all students.
The board member who works with us on this goal area is Mr. Scott Ebert.
Hello, I'm Philip Boyd, and I am the Assistant Superintendent of Human Resource Services. The talent goal is to develop talent management by recruiting, training, engaging, and retaining a highly qualified and diverse staff. I support the talent goal through helping to facilitate appropriate hiring processes and working with external partners to create a robust pipeline of teacher candidates.
And I am Liz Davenport. I am the Executive Director of Professional Learning and Leadership. I support the talent goal through the evaluation process and providing high quality professional development for all staff. Our team provides new teachers with a 2-year mentorship program to ensure that our newest educators have the support they need to provide students with a high quality education. We provide ongoing staff development using data from teachers and students. We've developed an effective evaluation process that is fair yet holds all staff to high expectations to ensure that students receive equitable access to high quality instruction.
The board member who works with us on this goal area is Mrs. Leslie Hogshead.
Hello, I'm Kevin Hampton, and I'm the Executive Director of Communications and Marketing for the Ferguson-Florissant School District. It didn't pop me up there automatically. My work is with the Your Community Goal area, which is engage all stakeholders with opportunities for dialogue, community outreach and events, feedback surveys, and proactive and transparent media relations. I support the Your Community Goal through supporting internal and external communications with the communications department and our staff in that department, and also through working with the Department of Family and Community Engagement and our Director of Family and Community Engagement. Our work is to strengthen the ties with our community and maintain good community relations and transparent communications so that all stakeholders feel included. The board member who works with us in this goal area is Ms. Tiffany Bush. At this time, we're going to make a transition, and Dr. Jameson is going to share a link in the chat to a Padlet that we'll be using this evening, and we'll be using this Padlet information to guide our planning as we move forward. Let me share my screen with you here, and you'll see what that Padlet should look like. Dr. Jameson, is that link in the chat now?
I did drop it into the chat.
Great, thank you. So at this time, if you would click on that link and open it up in a browser, you'll be able to see the Padlet that I'm showing on my screen here. If you are unable to open the Padlet in your browser, you may try pasting it into the Google Chrome browser. It works there. And if that still does not work, you'll be able to share your thoughts and hopes and dreams with the facilitator in your breakout room. You'll see that there are 6 goal areas at the top of the page. And if you'll click the plus sign below any of those goal areas, you can add to that area your hopes, thoughts, and dreams for that area for the future. You can also like others' thoughts as well by clicking on the heart. If you'll share your thoughts and then you'll also like other people's thoughts, we'll have an idea of which thoughts are most important to you. So at this time, I'd like to turn this back to Dr. Davis.
Thank you, Kevin. At this time, we're going to go into breakout groups. Our 13 goal area leaders will each be facilitating a breakout group. You'll be able to share your thoughts, and please make sure we want to hear your voice. You'll be able to share your thoughts on any of the goal areas in any of the breakout groups. So if you're in one breakout group, you can still share your thoughts if you have, for example, a desire to share about another particular breakout group. I realize that you likely have many other thoughts in your head right now about COVID-19 and how it's affecting your child's education, or even how it's taking a toll on your family as it has mine. This is a really hard time for everybody. And those concerns, let me say, are very important. And we want to hear from you on those topics as well. What I would ask that you do this evening is for you to help us hear from you about your hopes and dreams for the future of our school district, so that we can develop a revised strategic plan that meets the needs of our students, our families, and our community. Now, each breakout group facilitator will share the following. Oh, Carl. I think that's it, Kevin. I may have gone into the breakout. So at this time, we'll go into our breakout groups.
We'll, at this time, we'll open up the rooms. And then if you'll give us just a moment, I'll be putting the facilitators in the correct room. But if you're not a facilitator or a note taker, go ahead and head to your breakout rooms now.
All righty. It looks like folks are returning from the breakout rooms. First, I want to express my gratitude again for you taking the time this evening to participate in this kickoff event. I had a chance to pop in a couple of rooms and heard some really rich discussion, so I'm grateful. And this is just the beginning. Please know that we have so much more to do. The work we do over the coming months is crucial if we are to provide a high quality education for our students, and vital for their success in both the short and in the long term. Thank you for sharing your hopes and dreams this evening. I hope you dream big, because this is the time to lay your dreams out. As we move through this process, we will use what we've shared tonight, or rather what you shared tonight. We will review where we've been and prepare the plan to move forward. I know the holidays this year are going to be a little bit different than anything that we've known. I know some of us will be missing family and grieving for those that we've lost as a result of COVID-19. It's especially important, however, as we move forward, to lean on each other and to seek help when you need it. You are not alone. We are stronger together, even though we are physically apart. I'm grateful for all of you and the work that we will do to move Ferguson-Florissant School District to the premier school district in this country. Every child, Black, white, Asian, Hispanic, Native American, newcomer, whoever you are, you matter. And we want you as a part of this dream that we have going forward. Please join me as we embark upon this new important work for Ferguson-Florissant School District. Let us move forward together and onward together. Again, thank you to all of our parents and students and all of our employees for being here this evening. And most importantly, I want to say thank you to the Board of Education who has charted this path for us. They are leading the way. So thank you to our board. And on behalf of the Board of Education and myself, thank you for being here. Happy Thanksgiving and good night.